welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to walk you through my quad and glute day. But before we get started, I do want to say thank you so much for those of you that have subscribed, commented, liked, shared my content. You have no idea how much that means to me. It definitely does keep me motivated to keep posting. And I reached over 100 subscribers. It might not be a lot, but for me, I don't know, I like to celebrate those wins. So thank you so much. Again, you have no idea how much it means to me. But anyways, quad and glute day. I'm going to walk you through it in a way too where you're going to get some nice cues that you can use at the gym. Cues that I have used on my clients that I find are a little bit more helpful and easy to remember rather than throwing exercise jargon at you, which I can still do, but I always find that simplifying it is what works best for my clients. So I'm hoping that some of you can take something out of this video. If not useful information, I hope you can at least get that quad burn, glute burn, and just so you know, it's day 2 for me for being extremely sore, not being able to walk. So good luck and let's get started. The first exercise I chose is abductions. And I've already done my mobility work. I kind of still consider this a warm-up just to fire up my legs, but this is especially great if you have tight hips, just to fire them up. But take note with this that I'm not swinging the weight back and forth or using momentum. I'm actually taking a short little pause at the top. That's where you're going to get the most out of this exercise. So don't try to rush this through at all. We're going to do 3 sets of 12 to 15 here. Doesn't have to be very heavy. Again, we're just trying to fire up our legs here. This made me laugh because my face goes from RBF to straight smile as soon as I run into a friend. Here we go. This is going to be the warm-up set. But with our hack squat, you'll take note that I'm going to be lifting up my heels. I'm going to be standing on my toes, and I'm actually going to bring my feet in a little bit more, almost like Tommy Pickles. I learned this from Tom Platz. And if you know him, and sorry if I'm pronouncing that differently, but I'm German, and that's just how you pronounce Platz. So that's how I'm going to say it. My bad. You'll notice that the whole movement, I'm going to be on my toes. This is going to take so much emphasis off the glutes. You're going to just feel your quads, which is what we're trying to do here today. So if you haven't tried this variation, definitely give it a go, but be warned because it's extremely difficult. I definitely had to lighten my load with these ones, but man, the burn is unreal. So now after this little warm-up set, we're going to go straight into our working set. And yeah, it was very humbling for me. It was a very tough one. For my working set, I am doing a banded hack squat. It just helps me get out of the hole at the bottom, but nonetheless, my quad burn is, honestly, it's very intense. So I'm very happy I had the bands because I definitely needed it. But what we're going to do here, same as our warm-up, you're going to squeeze your quads, especially on the bottom here, all the way up. You're just going to start squeezing, and yeah, this is going to destroy your quads. We're going to do 2 more sets of my working sets and then 1 back off set, and then we will move on to our first glute dominant exercise, the hip thrust. Hip thrust time. So obviously this is a very glute dominant exercise, but I like to do a quad movement before to burn my quads out. That way I put all my emphasis on my glutes during this movement. With this one, I like to use a Smith machine. The setup is obviously a lot easier and it just feels smoother for me. So this is my preferred method of hip thrust, but do whichever one you prefer. This movement though, you want to make sure you're squeezing your glutes from the bottom all the way through, not just at the top of the motion. Drive through your heels. That's a great cue to use. Make sure you keep your chin tucked. You don't want to go too heavy because that's once again where your quads might kick in. So find a comfortable weight for you. And we're going to do just 4 sets of 12 to 15 on this one. I don't like to go too heavy because I will stop feeling my glutes on this one if I go too heavy. But yeah, just a couple more sets here. My glutes, yes. Next up, we're going to do some reverse lunges. And with this one, I actually really love the barbell version of this. But you're going to take a long step back and make sure you keep your weight in that front planted foot, pushing off your heels, right? You're going to have a little bit of a forward lean here too. That's going to help put focus on your glutes. Be sure not to lean too much forward because you could fall, especially with a heavier barbell on there. But take your time with these and again, press through those heels. I did about 8 to 10 on each legs, 4 sets, but this is going to have a superset with a quad dominant exercise. Oh, also, if you're not feeling these, try to elevate your top foot or your front foot and you might feel it a little bit more. But next up, we have our sissy squats with this little contraption here. You want to make sure you really press your calves into the machine. And then just how we did on that hack squat, you want to just focus on squeezing your quads all the way up here. Notice I don't have any weight. I don't need it for this exercise, but it is, if it's too easy for you, obviously go ahead and add some weight. But I didn't need it. My quads were on fire with this one. And obviously superset, so we're going to do this for another 3 sets. This one, because it is body weight too, I just kind of do a burnout however many I can do. I had to do a little mid-workout pump check here just to make sure everything's working right. Next up, we have our RDLs. So with this one, you can use any variation you'd like, barbell, dumbbell like myself, or even a kettlebell, whichever one you prefer. But I've been trying to push myself with the dumbbells lately, so that's why I am using straps as well, because my grip strength is not quite there yet. So I'm going to teach you some cues I've told my clients that have helped. This motion is more of a back and forth motion, not up and down. I've noticed that takes my clients' low backs out of the equations. And if you want to feel your glutes a lot more, add just a little bit more of a knee bend and think of driving your cheeks to the side of the room as you're coming back to starting position, bringing your cheeks back together. Another cue that has worked, and it's actually a client that told me about this, is, it's like twerking. So whatever works for you, just to make sure you're feeling this all in your legs, nothing in your low back. So hopefully those have helped. And yeah, these were brutal for me, but we're going to do another 3 more sets, 12 more. Here I am again, checking on my gains. I seriously have no shame at the gym, but be proud of your gains. You worked hard for it. We are going to end with leg extensions and a superset of sissy squats as well, but with the leg extensions here. This is the same thing as most of my exercises. I like to add a little pause at the top, and especially for leg extensions, this is really, really good for your knee health. So I highly recommend you adding that squeeze at the top and coming back down. And we're going to do 15 reps here, 4 sets. Superset it with the brutal sissy squats that are about to come up. And honestly, if your face doesn't look like this during your leg extensions, you got to do like 10 more reps. Here are the sissy squats. This is a very difficult and more advanced exercise. So if you have knee problems or joint issues there at all, I don't recommend you try this. Just honestly skip it or do some goblet squats, elevated, and some pulses. But yeah, this one is brutal. I'm trying to get as low as I can to the ground with these ones, but as you can tell probably by my face too, they are killer. And with this ones, I don't have a specific rep range. I kind of just, burn it out because I think the last set of these ones, I only got about 8 in. But hey, you made it. That's it. Thank you again for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, that whole jam. But if you have any requests, don't be afraid to drop it in the comments and I'll see if I can make a video for you. Don't be weird. I know I have some weirdos out there, so just keep it PG and exercise, lifestyle related, please. But anyways, I did want to let you know that closer towards the end of June, I have a very big announcement, and it's something I've been working on for honestly years. So if you want to stay in the loop, please, please, please send me your email. You can submit it on my link tree, which is in my bio on Instagram. So you don't want to miss it.